I thought you was gonna come up from the ground or something with some spikes.
I just did.
Oh, that was because you trying to pick your blunt out. That wasn't on no purpose.
And I still ain't get it though.
Hey,
But,
I got you. Don't worry about it. We live?
Yes, we
It
is
don't
live.
even matter though. We live. WRF Radio. You know what I mean? WRF Radio is available. Search in your app store. Available for, Android devices, Apple devices. WRFradio.com. Today's episode is brought to you by BillionBrothers.com. Luxury leather goods. How we sounding out there? Somebody leave a comment, a thumbs up if we sounding good. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? And I'm fortunate enough to have a chance to sit down with SK the King. A meeting with the King. You feel me? You know what I mean? The King and the God. You know what I mean? Peace God. I told it from the Wu-Tang area. You feel me? The King and the God. You know what I mean? Frank conversation. We'll give y'all a second. You know what I mean? We're going to go ahead and light the chalice, get the ceremony started correctly. Pardon me, player. Go ahead. You know what I mean? I'm going to hit you back in a little bit, bro. Shout out to Poise Management. Shout out to Above Average Joe. I don't know if you're familiar with Average Joe. That's my little brother artist. Shout out to Poise Management. That was him checking in. But we here right now. Yo, first and foremost, while I'm lighting this up, maybe let everybody know the social medias.
Yeah, it's your boy, SK the King 1 on everything. SK the King YouTube. You can find me. You Google SK the King. You're going to find everything. Interviews, videos. That's it. SK the King, everything. All DSPs, SK the King. Make sure you space it out. You're going to find my shit. Make sure you stream it, download it. We got music everywhere. Videos, all that. Interviews. Make sure you tap in.
How we sounding out there? Somebody give us a thumbs up. How we sounding, you know what I mean? I should have told my dog, brother, going in on the quality control. But it is what it is. Like I just finished telling the brother.
Make sure I speak up.
I come from the Wu-Tang era. I like my shit a little rough, you know what I mean? But it's cool, you know what I mean? So what made you choose SK the King, you know what I mean, to represent your artistry? You know what I mean?
That's an easy answer. So I used to go by Scholar. Okay. Scholar, my childhood nickname. I had that name since I was probably 10. My brother.
How you get Scholar?
My brother.
Okay.
My brother, Big Steve, he gave me that name. He started calling me Scholar when he found out I rap, because he rapped too. Okay. So he started calling me Scholar, Paul Scholar. So I kept it. And then when I got older, in Baltimore, you got so many Scholars. You had Cash Scholar, YBS Scholar. What's the other? It was like 3-4 Scholars.
So I was around my way.
Tay Scholar. Hated him.
I see.
Scholar.
Yeah, it was.
Nobody want to know you dated Tay Scholar.
Nobody ever heard.
We putting it out there now. Shout out to Tay Scholar. One of her on her body list. Anyway, listen. It's live. What do you want us to do?
Yeah, so it was Scholar at first, and I put the P on it, like P Scholar, to separate it. But then everybody was Scholar. It was like 4 or 5 different Scholars in the city, and I said nah. And actually, my homeboy from Atlanta, my homeboy Mike, it was his idea. He started calling me SK because it was the first 2 letters in Scholar. You know what I'm saying? Scholar, SKOLA. Gotcha. And I added the King, you know what I'm saying, because I knew it was other SKs out there. So I put the King on it because I look at myself like a king, like a god. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Would you ever battle that nigga King Los for the name? That went for a lap then. Like, shout out to King Los. Shout out to professionalbattlerap.com. That's our sister platform. So shout out to them on the shameless plug. So SK the King. Boom. Yeah. So when you made that? You said recently you made that transition?
I made that transition probably like 2010, 11.
Okay. So when did you first start rapping?
I started
rapping. Was it that gave you the alley hoop?
I started rapping in like 99 when I seen I know the exact. I remember this vividly. The Bling Bling video.
Okay.
When I seen that video when they had the helicopters, the trucks with the rims, all the jewelry on, money, I was like, this is what I want to do. I remember watching that shit on BET. Absolutely. That's the first video. Like, you remember before them, it wasn't none of that. It was Timberland boots and big pads, Wu-Tang, Jada Kiss,
it was a
DMX, bad. It wasn't no flossy.
It came. They brought it back. See, with Puff Daddy had it like with a shiny suit.
But he ain't had the jewelry with the cars. Hot Boys did it on another level.
No, they brought it back.
So when I seen that, I was like, I want that. It attracted.
Okay.
It attracted me, and that on top of that, you know, my brothers, you know, Bosco, Big Steve, EJ, all them niggas. I used to see all them niggas.
Shout out to Checker Flag Boys.
Yeah,
yo,
you already know Checker Flag.
Tony Bosco, one of my, you know what I mean? Like I was telling you off camera, that's one of my favorite MCs out of Baltimore. Personal preference. Nothing biased, you know what I mean? But check out Tony Bosco, the whole Checker Flag Boys.
Yes, sir.
So you honorary Checker Flag Boys,
yeah.
So you say you started rapping, like, you know what I mean? Take us from there.
Like
you saw
99.
That video, take us from there, yeah.
Yeah, and then on top of that, Bosco, my brother, Big Steve, EJ, they know me since I was a kid, so I used to always hear them rapping, and they always in the room and shit. I bust in the room, they smoking and rapping, writing raps and shit. Get out. You know what I mean? So between that and me seeing like the Hot Boys is what really like. I was like, yo, this is what I want.
Who's your favorite Hot Boy?
Oh, Weezy.
Weezy. Even back then.
Even back then.
Yo, you got Body More Big Steve. You gotta know.
Yeah, I know Big Steve.
You know, yeah, Body More Big Steve. Yo, his name's Body More Big Steve, but I'm ready to start calling yo Bayou Big Steve because he swayed from New Orleans. Like he knows New Orleans rappers better than Baltimore rappers. Like that's another show that's on our station. Shout out to Edible Talk Podcast. I'm full of shameless plugs today. It's been a long day. What do you want me to do? But yo, Big Steve, y'all could definitely discuss some Hot Boys history. You know what I mean? So Lil Wayne was your favorite on the break.
Sure.
BG really kicked the door down with that Cash Money. Is an Army better, yeah, the Navy.
I think that, and
that was on BET first.
I think the High did it too.
The High really kicked it.
Yeah.
The High with the remix Jay-Z. That's when he got that stat for that High. But I'm telling you, what really opened the doors for Cash Money on a national scale for me was BG, where they said Cash, because they had the stretch hummus and all that in that video, but motherfuckers ain't catching as much as the bling bling joint. But like, so yeah, free BG. Shout out my man Big Steve. Yo, hopefully, you know what I mean? That would be dope, man.
Free BG.
So the Hot Boys did it. So that made you say, so that said I want to be a rapper. Now, what was the transition actually getting the pen to the pad or, you know, getting to the microphone? You know what I mean? Yeah, so how we sounding out there too, guys? Like, we good?
When I started off, I just used to write. Like I say, like my first 3 years of rapping, I just had mad notepad school books full of just raps. And then when I was like 12, 13, I had like a little karaoke.
Okay, yeah, everybody start there. This is the same story. Yeah. I love to hear the story.
I had a boom box.
Everyone starts
playing the song, and then I had a karaoke recording it like that, making the little tapes. Yes, and then when I was 14, I started going to the real studio. When I was 14, I started going to the real studio.
What was the first studio you went to?
Architects. Back when Mike Mack had Architect up on Bel Air and Glenmore. No, he had it in a house.
Gotcha.
He had it in his house in the basement on up Bel Air Road by Old. So it's 04.
Who took you to Architect at 14?
I took myself, but that's where Bosco, EJ, and Big Steve.
Gotcha.
They was recording there. So when I was looking for a studio,
Architect still is the best. I don't know if Mike still is he still active?
Mike don't, his brother owned it.
Okay.
Mike don't own it no more. His brother.
Shout out to Ogun, the whole Gritty gang. Architect Studios is and was and will be the premier recording studio. There's been a lot of dope studios, but that's who everyone I feel like
everybody
aims for. Architect, like Architect is the premier. So you went there at 14.
I still go there.
Still to this day.
To this day. It's 2000. You talking about 20 years later? I still go to
this day.
Just in the
Architect. That's a good way to start though. So you were 14. You going there when you overwhelmed? Architect.
I was comfortable because you know how you go to like little small studios and basements and niggas' houses. Yeah. So I was doing that. Okay. But when I went to Architect, I felt more comfortable because it made me feel like I was really a rapper. Because it was the big studio with the big boards. The studio was huge, and it just felt more official. It made me feel like, all right, I'm really a rapper.
So what was the first song you did?
I couldn't even tell you.
Was it a feature or was it a song?
It was my shit. It was my shit.
But you don't remember the title of your first joint? It must have not been
not that I
brag about, huh?
I would say when I first started rap, when I was like 9, 10, I had all my raps that I ever wrote until when I caught a bid in Mississippi in 2010. I was locked up for a little over a year.
Mississippi, who the fuck getting money? Well, last time a nigga told he was getting money in Mississippi. Unless you from Alabama,
when I tell niggas I was booked in Mississippi, they say, "Yo, what the fuck was you doing in Mississippi, my nigga?" But I was living in Atlanta, but we was going over the road doing shit.
I get it.
And we ended up getting caught in Mississippi. But anyway, during that time, I had lost all my reps. It was in my apartment back in Atlanta. I lost my car and everything. My car got stuck and torn.
The raps, though, you can get another car. Listen,
I
still got
everything.
A lot of raps, but I've lost few in my travels. You don't even know what you said, bro. You get what I'm saying? It's like you don't know what you said. You could have wrote a movie. You could have made a movie.
Listen, I was hurt.
I know, yo, how that feel. This is a sentimental interview, yo.
I was hurt.
I could visualize a lot of the stuff you talk. I done lost rap composition notebook,
yeah,
little rap work paper, yo. Like this is before phones and all that. Like, yo, you lost them. They somewhere in the landfill right now. You ever thought about that?
Gone. But that was that.
I got the lighter.
So yeah, I was,
It's right there.
I got you. Good. So you caught the bid in Mississippi.
Yeah, that's later on.
What kind of car was it too, guys?
It was you know what? It was a fucking it was like a 99 like a goldish Ford Taurus.
A gold Ford Taurus. I had a
99.
Ford Taurus. I had a white one.
It was like a gold.
I made mother kick the door on that mother. That's another story. But I don't know. But she did. She kicked the door on the Ford Taurus. But anyway, so you was locked up in Mississippi. How was that? Was like the CO's played with like
it was
tell
racist.
us the story about
it was very racist. It was. I've been locked up. I did some time in Atlanta.
Y'all can hear us out there. We good.
Yeah.
Somebody leave a comment if y'all can't hear us. Goddamn, let us know. We're going off the cuff with this.
Facts. I did some time in Atlanta. Of course, I did some little time up in Baltimore, where I'm from as well.
Okay.
So I seen the difference.
Was it the same thing? You got transferred?
No. I did get extradited to Mississippi. This is a whole nother. It's
a long story.
Yeah, we gonna keep everything in order. So,
gotcha.
I would say the COs was very racist. You know, you can tell a difference when you've been locked up north and how the white COs treat you, and then you go to Mississippi and you see how they talk, how they treat you, and you can. It ain't hard to tell the difference. Yeah, crazy. I mean, Aryan Nation real heavy down there.
Oh man, I bet.
They run the jails down there. Any drugs, anything come through there. Yeah, they got up the trustees. I would say that was the
movie shit.
Yeah, I would say that was the biggest thing for me being from up north and not dealing with racism.
Did any of our people like tripping on you because you was from up north?
No.
In my mind, I felt like,
look, jail ain't for nobody. I would never tell nobody to go to jail, but I can't speak for everybody. But when I go to jail, it's smooth. Right. But besides that, you've been locked up before.
Regular shit.
So once you
nothing real heavy though.
You adapt.
I'm a small time guy. Like the longest stretch I did probably was 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
To be honest, because like. You laughing at my 2 week sheet because I did serious time. I was reformed. I did a serious little 2 weeks, but I almost missed my daughter's birthday. That was the shit that made me so
that shit don't mean nothing because a lot of shit that I did that I could probably get 20, 30 years for is not the shit that I did time for.
Right. That's the thing about it, by the grace of God.
Yeah.
And now, listen, and see, and look how I turn around 3 full story though. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so let's get back on the timeline. So you got booked around 2010.
I got booked at the end of 2009. Yeah.
2010. So you came home from all that. You know what I mean?
I lost everything in Atlanta. I lost my apartment, my car. I wasn't working a job. I was, doing other shit. And I lost everything. My furniture, I lost everything. I came home with my wallet and my phone that I got locked up.
Real players bounce back, though. I'm a firm believer in that.
And I went back to Atlanta for like a couple days. And then I was just like, no, I'm going back home. I got to get back grounded. Back with my family at support system. I needed that. Coming home not having nothing.
So you came back to Baltimore.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And I had a son and I just stayed. I would have been gone back, but I had a son within somebody was pregnant within 8-9 months of me being home.
Shout
So
out
I
to
didn't
Lil
even get a
Man,
chance.
too,
Yeah, shout out my son, JP.
What's up? Shout out JP, yeah, man.
Yeah, so she ended up pregnant this like 8 months after I came home.
Okay. It
So
was written.
I ended up staying. Yeah, I ended up staying. I would have been back in Atlanta though, but yeah.
So that was a blessing.
Yeah,
a
for
little
sure.
minor derailment that turned into a blessing.
For
So
sure.
had Lil Man, boom. So then what you got right back to it after that? Did that motivate you even more? That was your first child,
Yeah.
like,
So I always been happy doing the rap shit. Like I moved to Atlanta in the first place to do the music. It was also to get away from Baltimore because I was getting in so much shit. And I ain't want to keep fucking up. So Atlanta, and then mind you, 07, 06, that's when Atlanta really started taking over with the music. So I'm like, yo, I need to get away from Baltimore. There's too much shit going on. Mind you, my sister and my best friend was also trying to move to Atlanta. So it just made sense. I was just like, you know what, I'm going. Yeah, I was like, I'm going. And we went within 3 weeks of even making the plan. We made the plan and literally
that's how it goes.
We found the house
I tried to tell
and
her
everything within 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, we was like, yo, let's just go. We was like, yo, let's go. Fuck it, let's just go.
Roll the dice.
And we went, and we ended up staying. We ended up being down there for like 5 years.
So once you got down there, what type of, like type of doors start opening for you?
Yeah, so I went down to Atlanta. I was just working jobs. I was working 2 jobs down there. I went down there with a car. I had a house the first day I got down there. We handled that before we even left. So I was already situated. I was working jobs, going to studio, just doing like local showcases. That's Atlanta. So it was like a lot of open mics, showcases.
Okay.
I was doing them as much as possible.
Fan bases, one fan base a day. Okay.
And just along being down there, meeting people and knowing people, I ended up meeting a guy named Nick Fury. Okay. Nick Fury, I'm sure everybody familiar with him. He made the Game Over beat for Lil Flip.
Okay. Absolutely.
That was his biggest record.
I like that.
He made the Still Love You T.I. He made multiple joints for T.I. Wu-Tang. He got Wu-Tang.
So he produced for T.I. and Flip at that time.
Yeah.
Because I know they was beefing back in the day.
Yeah, it's before the beef.
Oh, before the beef.
Yeah,
okay, that's interesting though.
Yeah, he got Busta Rhymes on his credit. He got, look him up, Nick Fury.
Okay.
But anyway,
definitely familiar with the Game Over beat. That's a classic
for sure. And he heard my music. I was recording at his studio. He heard my music, and literally the first time he heard my music, mind you, at this time I'm like 18, 19. I'm still a young nigga, no facial hair, but he heard me rapping, and he was like, "Yo, like you fire." He was like, "Yo, just come through." Like from that first day, he was just like, "Yo, come through and cook up." Like he kind of put me under his wing. And then he ended up making me a part of his label, New Jeru Entertainment. Okay. So he had 2 other artists, an artist from Atlanta and an artist from Chicago. He's from Jersey, yeah. Makes sense. And he had an artist from Chicago and an artist from Atlanta. And he made me his artist. Okay. And basically from that point, I'm recording at his studio. I put together.
This around the time when Boss Man signed with So
Yes. Yep. This like 08. This 08, 09.
A lot of Baltimore people was getting right around that little curve.
Yep.
Gotcha.
This 08, 09. Yep, that's when he fucked with Jermaine Dupri. And I was down there. We was doing shows. Oh yeah, yes sir. And I put a project out, a solo project out through him, and we put out a compilation project before.
Is that available somewhere?
It's not. This back in.
Right, I've been wondering because a lot of stuff got distributed.
We was hitting the malls with
hundreds
of CDs. Yeah, it wasn't all like,
re-release of that picture.
I think Facebook. No, this MySpace days, and I didn't even have a MySpace.
I got a few songs on MySpace. I wish I need to get back. I did a Turn My Swag on freestyle.
Word.
I killed that Soulja Boy joint back in the day. I don't have
that was that shit back then.
Yeah, I killed that. It was different sound, kind of like the Game Over beat. Like it was different. That's what made me get on. So anyway, y'all dropped some independent projects.
I dropped the project. Yep, before the
digital. Hand, gotcha.
And we just did CDs, going to malls, going to the gas stations, CDs in the trunk in the backpack, selling them bitches $10 a pop, $5 a pop.
You sell 100 CDs, that's $1,000.
Even if you sell them $3, if you
sell it at $3, that's $300.
$300.
Yes, I mean you sell them at $5 because that was a mixtape.
Talking about what you can do in a day, and then you add it up to what some niggas make selling drugs. Some niggas don't even make $300-$500 a day selling drugs. They don't. And then they definitely don't make that at a job.
And then the cool thing about it was this. Now that I'm merchandising in different areas. The the customer got something. You know what I'm saying? Say you bought the CD, you bought the CD for $10. Now you actually got something intangible, the artwork.
Yeah.
You know, we used to roll up on the artwork.
Yeah, that's what
we used to sit there and read the artwork if it had a little book like a real album, whatever. But now, the artist doesn't get nothing. When you do on Spotify, there's no exchange, unless, shout out to people that get the merch or, support your artist. You know what I mean? A little commercial, you know what I mean? Let's plug the merch real quick.
That's a fact.
Go ahead. You can plug the merch real quick because now you want to give you something.
I got the merch available on deck at all times. You can DM me, SK the King 1. Shoot me a DM. I ship. You know what I'm saying? It's that easy.
Tap in with the merch.
Let me know what colors. I can send you some,
I need something purple, for my people.
I got the purple. I got the hoodies. I got the purple hoodies out here.
It's done.
It's my favorite color right there.
So, yes, see, that's how you can support your artist that you like. Is that you can buy the CD, $10 in our pocket, CD for you. Yeah. Now, streaming, I just cashed out my little streaming joint. It was a little $100-something in there.
Yeah, I showed her how much I got probably like 2-3 weeks ago. I got a nice little 4-figure check from streaming.
I like that, yo. I was so motivated, though, because I didn't even check my joint in a second.
That's how it was.
But it was
me.
like, you know what? I'm gonna cash this out. I'm gonna cash this out. Yeah,
I did not know that shit.
On the music, I'm like, it was love because it feel like we giving it away for free. Like, do you feel like, and I want to get your opinion, you feel like the music is almost like the commercial, man? Like the music, because they almost get that for free. You can watch the video for free. It's almost like a commercial for the other stuff, like the tour tickets, or the merch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how I feel like the music. But we still do get paid from streaming though. So stream that joint 100 times if you rock with it.
But if you really rock with it, get the merch.
Yes, because support us quicker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But still pay your Spotify bill though. Pay your Spotify bill, because if you don't, you ain't gonna be able to stream nothing. You gonna have ads in your stuff. Or you can get WR Radio app, by the way. But anyway, shall I digress? So Atlanta Moves is being made. Eric Fury, you put the solo.
I gotta add this, and I can't skip out this part. So the guy Nick Fury, he had his own label. He had his own big studio. Like, it was really like an apartment.
Yes.
It had like 4 rooms in it. It had a kitchen room, a living room, a production room, and then the big like studio.
So Motown.
Yeah, it was. So I was living there. I did some more time. I did a county bid in Atlanta. I caught 6 months, but I ended up doing 3. Okay. So when I came home, this in Atlanta, I lost my first house that I had down there. And when I came home, I lost my house after 2 months when I came home. And then I was going to go back to Baltimore, but I just wasn't ready. Mind you, I'm still in my juvenile mind frame. I wasn't even down in Atlanta for a whole 6 months and caught new felonies. You know what I'm saying? So I was still in my, you know what I'm saying? I was working a job, but I found a side hustle that just, with the extra money. But anyway, besides that, what I'm getting to.
The bigger risk, the bigger the reward. But don't forget the bigger risk part.
You just gotta know what you're getting into, and if you get locked up, you gotta hold it down.
So you say, like now we take a smaller reward, but we take a smaller risk. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So
getting older.
During that time, so after I came home, I stayed, and he let me stay in his studio because he had a little side room. So I was sleeping on the floor, sleeping on the couches. You know and West Side Gun, shout out to West Side, shout out to Conway. They start recording they was down there on music too.
Gotcha.
From Buffalo.
Gotcha.
And they start booking time at Nick Fury studio.
Okay.
And I met Wes in Conway. I met Benny in 2017 when they first signed. But I met Wes in Conway 08 in Atlanta. They was recording at the studio.
You can put that band up there, you know what I mean? The one about the you know what I mean? About the guys going ahead signing, about him signing. That's what we talking about right now.
Yeah, so I met Con back in 08 in Atlanta.
We good,
yeah.
6.
And he heard me rap. He was coming in there. He heard me rap, and whatever his living situation was, it changed. And by that time, we already had a light relationship. Mind you, he don't got no family down there neither. He down there dolo, chasing his music shit.
West Side Gun, right?
With West Side, but West Side was on a run at the time. Okay. So he was back and forth from Alabama and Atlanta on a run from New York. So he wasn't there all the time, but Conway was there all the time. So his living situation changed. And he asked us, like, yo, you think, because he seen us living in there. He was like, yo, you think, I can stay there? You'll holler at Ferry. So we hollered at Ferry, and he was like, shit, hell yeah, we can stay for a minute, cool. And he started living in the studio with us. And we've been locked in.
Shelter, man, studio shelter, niggas, you know what I mean? Because that should be a safe haven sometimes. Like people with several studios, you know what I mean? Brothers had to stay in there, you know what I mean? Because it's times I stayed in the studio before, like because of extreme circumstances, you know what I'm saying? And the studio is more than just where stuff get recorded. Like sometimes you might hit your girl, or even female artists, they might hit their part. It's not a male or female thing, but people don't understand. Sometimes you might go to the studio and don't even make a song, just for the therapeutic, the vibrations. It's like almost like, I hate to say it like that to people, like, you know what I mean, but for lack of, it's like going to church though, you know what I mean? It's not on that level, it's two different things, but it's like someone who love their job, like if you love, you know what I'm saying, we love building houses, and so the studio is a safe place, ladies, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So don't give us slack sometimes when we at the studio. Because we really just trying to, sometimes I just go there, you know, I come into the warehouse. I was just telling earlier today and left, I was like, the warehouse is addictive. You know what I'm saying? Because when I'm at the warehouse, I'm building.
Yeah, you being constructive and creative.
Yes.
Getting ideas, just being in that atmosphere.
And I get away from the crib is cool, get fired.
But when you home, you at home mode.
Yeah.
You want to be in bed, you thinking of what movie you going to watch.
Big
what I'm
up
for dinner.
Wifey, like, yo, that's Netflix, cook a meal.
You ain't thinking about it. You know what I mean? Clearly, you're not.
Right, but when I come here and see magic happens, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and it start from the faith of a mustard seed, you know what I mean?
It's the same as rappers.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
Yeah, no,
right, cool.
the same as rappers preferring to go in the studio and write their song versus writing it at home. You know, when you in the studio and you in the actual studio, you just get a different vibe.
I had to tell my man Supreme Beats that, yo, no, listen, just I like to write right here.
Yeah, it's a different vibe.
I can sit with it. Sometimes I do that too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But that leads me to a great question. What is your favorite time to write? Like in the morning? You already said you like to write in the studio, but like, what's your favorite time to go to the studio then and really like to work on music? You know what I mean?
I don't really have a specific time that I like to go. But I can tell you this: I don't like to go to the studio until I got a bunch of songs. I don't write on like so I don't even want to add this in there, but I just recently wrote some shit. The only thing for the past 2 months, the only thing I've been writing for is features. I haven't written any songs for any new projects for me in 2+ months. The features that I've been getting in collaboration songs with guys and people with DrumWork, Conway, that's the only thing I've been writing for the past 2 months. I haven't written anything for
the album was done prior to the past 2 months, pretty much.
Oh, the album I'm dropping next week has been done for probably a year plus. But I put out other projects, and I wanted to save this one because I know this one was. I'm like, no, I gotta.
Right, for the tour.
This is my best project that I'm putting up with sure guarantee. So I held on to it. I'm not gonna drop this one. I just put out
made for this. What made you tightly made for this? The upcoming project.
I thought I actually May 26th. May 26th. I thought of it last time I was on tour. Yeah, I was on tour 2021 fall. Love Will Get You Killed with Conway. And it put like something at me. I was, it was just like
felt that shit. Like I paid for this.
Yeah. Yeah, like
where you was at with a tour bus, we just came off stage, like
we had multiple vehicles. We had Sprinter vans, we had 12 passenger vans, SUVs, Suburbans, because it was all the DrumWork music. I had my own entourage with me. Okay. So we had our own separate vehicle from everybody else because I bought my own cameraman. Exactly. I have my own manager.
And let that be a jewel to y'all right
so
there. That's a jewel right there.
I have my own team besides my DrumWork team. That's
his
my
own
team.
cameraman, his own.
DrumWork, they have a cameraman that come out on tour and shows. I have my own.
Very key.
So I have my own transport, so we got our own transportation. Yeah, so I just felt like, I don't know, just everything. Like, the shit was so crazy, man. And mind you, like, I got 3,000 followers on the ground.
Okay.
I got a little more on Facebook. I probably got about 4+ followers.
Shout out
Facebook.
to each and every one of them. We want to say a prayer for each and every one of those followers right now.
But yeah, no doubt. But the crazy thing is, like, I went on tour around the fucking country and had people asking for my autograph. It's coming out on the documentary. Like, I had people asking me to sign their shoes, like taking their on camera, took their fresh Air Force Ones off. Just because they know it wasn't that old. I got 1 million followers. They love my music. They like what I'm a part of. You know, just interacting with them on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it definitely put like a battery in my back.
Moment, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I'm talking about West Coast, South. Like, oh, you SK the King. Oh, I heard your song with Conway. Oh, I heard you on this. Oh, you fire, man. Can I get your autograph? And I'm feeling like I'm nobody. You feel what I'm saying?
That's that motivation. That's what made me. I was needing.
And I never got a better feeling in the world. Like, as far as like, what do I want to do with my life? You understand what I'm saying? Like, whether it was a job, like I got my, I started a shirt printing business in 2017. I was running it out my basement, and I had all the printers, the heat press machines, the screen print. My whole basement was full of this shit, and I couldn't get into it. You know what I'm saying? But I was making money off of it.
No, yeah, but it wasn't.
And I was happy I had my own business. I'm like, shit, I'm making money. I got people $300, one 15, 20 shirt. Damn. I was happy, but I didn't get that feeling.
You weren't content.
I wasn't content. But when I went on tour,
I get that.
And you know what I'm saying? I was like, no, this is what I was made to do. Like, yeah.
So, what's your favorite place that you performed at so far? Best crowd, reaction, energy. You know what I mean?
I would have to say it's even out of Boston.
Okay.
Or I don't know. Houston was crazy.
Okay. Yeah, I see a lot.
Detroit. It's hard.
I like Detroit. I like where their music is coming through. I like that little sound they got.
I would say the best crowd was like Boston, Houston, Detroit. Boston was crazy. Like, Boston, the hip hop city. Like, you won't know until you go there for a show. They like hip hop. Boston, that area, whatever, because that's like upstate. That's New York, Connecticut.
I get you.
That's like the tri-state, so they love that hip hop. They love real rap where you got bars, but they still like
people that was probably New York people moved out there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's that culture up north. So Boston was great. Like, their energy, the love, like you tell them, hey, buddy, put your hands up, make some motherfucking noise, and everybody, you know, a lot of places it'd be half of the crowd doing it.
You got really, I love our people, but you got to really earn it though. I love it though.
But the Baltimore show was crazy though. That performance is online.
That's what
Baltimore show.
I think I remember it was at Soundstage.
That performance.
Philly Live and them open up for y'all. Wisdom Court. They might was one that shouted them. They do a lot of it.
Yeah.
No, you familiar with Billy Live?
I've been on. I know them guys through my guys. Shout out my guys. Snow. That's my point manager, and he's also an artist as well. He introduced me to him. He's real good friends. So when he came to town, he went to the Billy Live and the Wisdom Court show, and I was backstage with him. Went on stage with him. We kicked it.
They got a skating event coming. I need to talk to my guy.
They be doing their thing though.
Yeah, I need to talk to they got a skating event.
They do their thing.
So take us real quick. You know what I mean? I appreciate your time, but let's speed through.
Yeah,
so Eric Fury, God bless up to him. Eric
Yeah.
Fury. So he let brothers, camp, stay in the church studio. And you end up staying in the studio with West Side. Right?
No.
I mean,
Conway.
yes.
Yeah.
Conway.
West Side.
So
He
was on the run.
He was on the run.
West Side was on the run.
Yeah.
You staying in the same studio with Conway the Machine, Griselda Records. But at the time, he was just Conway. No Benny the Butcher, because I know they started rapping before Benny.
Back then, he wasn't Conway the Machine. He was Jimmy Conway.
Jimmy Conway was his name back.
Was the guy from Goodfellas.
Yes.
And then he went to Cannon, and he kind of, went to he didn't want Cannon because he felt like Cannon was too. It wasn't commercial. It was more like Cannon Gun. It was too hardcore. He wanted something that sounded a little more friendly.
Conway the Machine.
So he just went Conway, and then he added the Machine later on.
Okay. So y'all, so tell me some stories about y'all. All staying in the studio. Something happened. Somebody cuffed a freak. Somebody did something.
I ain't gonna talk about it. But I will tell. I'll say this. I'm not gonna get into detail, but me, Conway, and some other friends. We street guys. We come from a certain background, so it's like if you fucked up, this what we doing. We not about to sit around being broke. If we can't get a job in time, or the trap slow down, you know how it go. And then we not about to sit around and be broke.
Shortcuts. Brothers took a lot of shortcuts back then because we was hungry, sons and stuff.
Yeah, like we was robbing people. We was stealing out of grocery stores, like together. Like we
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, so
you and Conway stealing snacks.
The gas station, right? We walk to the gas.
I can't wait for the documentary. I'm intrigued now. I turned around.
It'll be either way. It'll be like I'll be distracting the cashier. Like, hey man, do you know you got any? I'm trying to find one of them. And the whole time he in the back of the store putting sandwiches and honey buns in his pocket while I'm distracting us. Really, we going to the grocery store with big pants on, stuffing noodles and hot dogs in our pants with lit coats on.
Gotta eat, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's the type.
Yeah, we had a hot plate. We had a whole kitchen in there. I told you it was a whole kitchen, big ass refrigerator, microwave. It was like a whole apartment. Right. It was a whole. Had a couch in the kitchen and everything. The kitchen was huge. So, we was doing shit like that, and that's why our relationship is just so solid.
Explains the rapport.
Because he know, like, even though he up right now and he who he is, and he got all this money and fame, and he know that. No, this nigga
we
fucking with me.
Distracted tellers together.
Like,
listen,
he know sense. If he ain't have all that shit, like, bro still gonna fuck with me. Because we already been there. So it's like he don't got to question if I'm one of the niggas that's around because he famous and got money and
see how the tour going. Album once it drops.
We gotta do another one on tour.
Absolutely, pop
backstage
out there.
or something.
Absolutely, I would love to pop out there. You know what I mean?
That's easy. That's easy.
Yes,
all you gotta do is get shit.
That's love. Yeah, we in there. That's my travel agency out there. Storybook Travel Agency. I should have made this episode sponsored by that, but it's okay. We'll put that under somewhere the next one. Storybook Travel Agency. Put that in there, and it'll take you right to the best travel agent in the world. You know what I mean? But yeah, we'll pop out. But so fast, so y'all still in the sandwiches. Yeah. Boom. So did y'all
just
fall out of contact? Or did y'all keep in contact through the whole?
We fell out of contact when I went to jail in Mississippi. Mind you, me and Conway, we was doing the same hustle. We was all going out of state to state doing shit. I ain't gonna get into it, but we was going. Conway, we was all doing the same hustle. When I got locked up in Mississippi, we was with my sister, my blood sister, and some other friends, mutual friends. They was in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of us doing what we was doing. But I would go this way, this group of people would go that way, and they'd go that way. And this time when I got booked, we went to Memphis. We was in Memphis the day before I got locked up. That was our destination, was Memphis. We got locked up. We didn't want to go back the same way we came. So we was going to cut down Mississippi and cut back over on I-10 at the bottom of Mississippi to get back to Atlanta. So we crossed Mississippi and we shouldn't have crossed through Mississippi because they we had some shit in the car, a lot of shit, and they profiled us, which led to us getting arrested in Mississippi. We was in a small town and they seen full black motherfuckers that look like us, and you know, it's a story how it unfolded, but that's what it came from. They profiled us. They profiled us and thought we was doing some shit.
Help any of your cases or anything?
No.
That shit was railroad down there.
Even shout out to them 2 niggas who ratted too. Y'all niggas still got the same shit. Y'all just did it less time. They got the same amount of probation as they just got out. Ratted for nothing. The rest of your life.
So you say you lost contact?
We lost contact. I was locked up for like 13 months, 14 months. I got out end of 2010, beginning 2011. Like January 3rd, 2011. And he was back in Buffalo at this point. I went back to Baltimore. So we lost contact, and then in 2012 is when he got shot up.
You ain't had that joint back then? Pardon me, yo.
Respect.
No, I ain't even. I'm just saying because I'm thinking, whole time I'm thinking this Conway, like that's the Conway you dealing with. So he was just regular face Conway.
Yeah,
respectfully, listen, I didn't know.
Conway, you know you my nigga. Conway was a pretty boy shit. Yeah, like fly dressing, glasses on, frames, 2 New York shit. You know that's what
he got shot up back in
earrings. He moved back to Buffalo. Everybody did. It was only a few of us. Because a lot of the people I met in Atlanta was from Philly, LA, here, and we kind of made a circle. And a lot of us, when the shit was going, kind of went. You know how shit go. When you got licks and they go away. Then, so when the whole shit was over that we was doing, everybody kind of went back home. Conway went back to Buffalo. My people went back to Philly. I went back to Baltimore. Niggas went back to where they was from. So in 2012, you mind you, I'm just coming. I'm not really even thinking about trying to get in contact with nobody from Atlanta. I'm trying to get back on my feet. So, but then I heard through people that he got shot up in 2012. And of course, he in the hospital bed, he was in a coma, all that shit. So I wasn't able to get in contact with him. But I knew some people that was close to him, like, he was better every day, but he still fire. So we end up connecting back in 2015 in Atlanta. I was in Atlanta doing a show in Atlanta, and he was in Atlanta doing some music shit. And then we got mutual friends.
That was still early for them too.
That's when they really started popping, like 2015, underground.
Yeah, Benny the Butcher.
So they was in Atlanta doing business, and I'm down there doing a showcase. I paid for it. I paid to do a show in Atlanta, like with Young Dro. That's who it was. It was to open up the Young Dro.
Yeah, that's a tough thing.
And a mutual friend, like, yo, Conway down here? I'm like, where? I'm like, talked to that nigga in almost 5 years. So he put us on the line. We linked up, chopped it up for a bit. He was getting some food. I pulled up on him. We exchanged numbers, exchanged social media. And we've been in contact. We just kept in contact. He moving around. I'm in Baltimore doing me. Be in Buffalo, back and forth to Atlanta and Buffalo. We just keep in contact via, social media and messaging and shit like that. Then he got signed in 2017. So that's when he really started moving around heavy. And I started moving around with him, light at first, because I was working jobs and shit like that. And I just started moving around with him when I could. Yeah, and all that. And so from that point, I'm moving around with him from when they was on tour with the Locks, Key to Locks tour, 2017, when they first signed this Eminem, Shady Records. And I went on a couple dates with him where I could make it, and was just building back with him. You know what I'm saying? We just building. And I just been with him through his whole journey since he signed the Shady. Then in 2020, when he started DrumWork, he was like, you already know, gang, like, I'm gonna get this shit going. I still got, he still got his own career. So, I was still doing me. even to this day, I still do me, even being under him. I still put shit together that the label don't do.
Absolutely.
I still put plays together for myself. So
that's how you gotta let that be another jewel for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
So
a lot of people would get the opportunity and get lazy
and just and just be dependent on them.
Yo, what's up with this?
Yo, can you do this? Da da da. No, I still put plays
shout
together
to you
for myself.
And that's the great way to do it because what's the imprint for you, or like the, what's the, we skipping some steps. Stay tuned for part 2. We gonna fill in the whole timeline from there to that. You know what I mean? But right here where we at is right where he was signing Shady, and then the DrumWorks, developed. Yeah. But so we gonna go to the future for a second. Yeah. So what is like, you know what I mean? 3 to 5 year plan, you know what I mean, like DrumWorks, and then what's your brand?
I can tell you my plan is to, I'm just waiting my turn. I'm just still building. I just signed.
Fresh.
Yeah.
DrumWorks. So what's the DrumWorks situation like? What is that? Is it completely independent? Or
no, we through Empire.
Okay, shout out to Gazi Empire. You know what I mean? Shout out to Empire.
We do everything through Empire.
Oh, that's dope. That's good.
I ain't gonna let them. We just got some good news. We were just in New York. We had a label meeting. I ain't gonna spill that bag yet, because bro ain't even spill it.
Right.
We were Empire.
Raps,
yeah. We were Empire. Everything through Empire right now.
That's cool. Bad Boy released. Puff Daddy released his son project through Empire.
Yeah,
I was bugged out because I'm a credits guy. I grew up reading the whole Source magazine. Like we was talking about the CDs earlier. All right, produced by this. Yeah. So I'm looking at Puff. Like, let me see Puff Daddy. Let me see how many songs he really got. Because you never heard nobody say, "Yo, throw that King Combs on." Respectfully.
Right, exactly. That's a fact.
Like that one song he had with Chris Brown was a little slatty. You know what I mean? But yo, go throw that King Combs on. So I'm like. But I seen Bad Boy Empire. I'm like, wow, that really was the cosign. Because, Young Dog, rest in peace, was on Empire.
King Von, rest in
Money
peace,
Man
was on Empire.
A lot of my favorites. Filthy, shout to Filthy Rich.
What's the
a
guy?
lot of my favorite guys.
A
lot of my favorite artists. Because I feel like that's the best place to be independent but still have on a major though. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what it is. It's like a major label, but it's an independent because they let you keep so much of your masters and your publishing and all that. They're not trying to give you this amount of money.
Shout out to Empire.
Yeah, they like, look, they want to partner up instead of trying to
I say Bad Boy Empire, you know what I mean? That brought me out. So that's dope, bro. So
yeah, I'm glad that I'm like
you would take that over that's blasphemy, but major to Sony or Warner.
That's crazy you said Sony, but I wouldn't even really to be honest with you, just whatever make more sense for me. Like I said, I was coming in this shit under bro. I'm with you. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, following his lead, you gotta let him lead. He already in the door. So I'm like,
fuck up tradition.
I'm like shit.
That's what a lot of people mess up at.
Wherever he want to take drum work, I'm with you. I'm with drum work. So wherever you decide to take drum work, I know you ain't gonna go nowhere that don't make sense for your label.
That's why he quarterback right now.
So if you want to go with Empire, then go with Empire.
Fuck up that, I want to be quarterback. You are better at wide receiver, play your position. You might be better on a defensive backfield, but you want to be a wide receiver, be a prima donna. You want to be a quarterback like Slash or something. Play your position. He's quarterback in the situation. You see, there's a lot of jewels in this right here. Yo, stay tuned for part 2. Yo, that was a very, very ill, you know what I mean, way to capstone this part 1 right here. Yo, I appreciate you, brother. Catch the truck, man. There you go. You want to get your Hype Williams on right there. We out. Truckload. Shout to Shelly. Shout to Shelly Truck Driving School. You know
Privately owned.
A lot of our family went there, but they don't take financial aid.
Not at all.
So if you need a loan, holler at me. Yo, SK the King. The tour, by the way, won't he do it tour? Kicking off. I'm gonna let you talk to the people.
Man, May 26th, made for this all platforms. Yeah. DM me, SK the King. Get your merch, your physical CDs. I'll ship it right to you wherever you at.
And the merch, you want to grab it real quick so you got some merch on you?
It's that around here.
Stay tuned because we're going to get the purple Wednesday. Yeah, we lock in there. We lock. Boom, we going to see the merch, the purple one. We're going to ask them to need 2 because I'm going to need one. And she's going to need one.
I got you.
Won't he do it to her? And yo, shout out to Conway. That's real, yo. That nigga stole I didn't even know this is one of my favorite interviews I ever did. Nigga stole sandwiches together. That's my shit.
While I'm distracting the cashier.
I'm a klepto.
Real shit.
Let's get out of here, yo. Appreciate your time. Part 2 coming soon. We going out there on tour. We gonna figure out one of the dates.
Pop out.
We gonna pop out. That's love, bro. Appreciate it.
Only do it to tickets on sale.
Whoa. Tickets on sale now. Merch on sale.
Yeah.
Grab up, support us that way. And stream the music too. Let's get that little 1/4 of a penny.
Yeah, every stream.
Every stream
It
count.
add up.
Out. Fire, bro.
We gonna make part 2 even better. Because I left so much shit.
No, I ain't even